TV taught me how to dream. It was a life jacket. I don't think you can be an artist and not touch people.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ramon Ralph Velez, and welcome to the Mayweather Boxing Club here in the fight capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada, as we prepare for the virtual media day for Gervonta "Tank" Davis as he prepares for his showdown Halloween night versus El Terremoto, Leo Santa Cruz. 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific time, live on Showtime pay-per-view from the Alamodome in San Antonio, Texas, brought to you by Mayweather Promotions, TGB Promotions, GTD Promotions, Santa Cruz Boxing Club, and of course, Showtime. There are 3 other amazing reasons to join us on the pay-per-view besides the main event. Regis Rougarou Prograde will be taking on the undefeated Mayweather Promotions prospect Juan Heraldez. Diego Magdaleno will be taking on Isaac Cruz in an IBF lightweight title eliminator. The undefeated WBA super lightweight champion Mario El Azteca Barrios, who will be fighting in front of his hometown in San Antonio, Texas, will be taking on Ryan Cowboy Carl. And of course, again, the main event of the evening, a fight which will blow the roof off of the Alamodome. Gervonta "Tank" Davis, 23 victories, no defeats, 22 of his victories coming by way of knockout, a 95% KO ratio, will be taking on El Terremoto, Leo Santa Cruz, with just 1 loss against his 37 victories. 62 fights between the 2 fighters, 1 loss between the 2 fighters. And this is going to be an awesome night. And right now, I want to welcome Coach Calvin Ford, the trainer of Gervonta "Tank" Davis.
How you doing?
Good, Coach. A lot of people were surprised by you guys coming down here to Las Vegas to train. You specifically said you were going to have Tank ready. This was the most important fight of his career. Tell us how this process is going and how you guys have basically moved and have been here for almost 3 months.
It's not our first time here at the Mayweather camp. When Tank first signed with Floyd, he was doing his retirement with his retired fight. We trained here, and I stayed down here about the same time when we first signed with Floyd. And then when he had the Conor McGrady fight, we trained here at the Mayweather gym. So it's like family to me. It's like home away from home when I do come here. It's like a vacation, but work, you know. But this camp been really tense because it's pay-per-view. You know, we got the world champion, but when you fight on a pay-per-view level, it's a different level, you know. And you got a great fighter, Santa Cruz, you know, expecting to bring the best out of Tank, you know, because I know Santa Cruz is going to always come with it, you know. I'm looking forward to it.
We are too, and you have had Tank since he was a small child. You're basically the father figure in his life. What have you seen as far as the maturation from Tank, even in just these last 3 years? 2017 was a big year for him, won his first title. Last year, 3 cities all over the U.S., Los Angeles, Baltimore, Atlanta, sold them all out. I don't even think that's even possible from any other fighter right now in boxing, and he did it. What have you seen as far as that maturation?
Well, just watching it, we just watching history repeating itself in a sense, you know. But it's different. We on the road, going to different venues and selling out. So that's really major, trying to become that mega star. Tank has really been really took this camp real serious, and just watching him growing into them 3 opponents that are Gervonta "Tank" Davis, the family man, the fighter, and then the businessman. You know, so he's learning because nobody gave him a manual to do this. You get what I'm saying? He's putting it together, and it's making it. I'm watching him maturing, going through the motions that he's going through.
Now, what do you say to Leo Santa Cruz, who yesterday at his open workout said that he had planned to take Tank where he had never been before? He said he was going to box him in the earlier rounds, expecting Tank to tire and then take over in the last part of the fight. What do you say to that?
Well, everybody have a game plan. Everybody have a game plan. We have a game plan. It's who's going to execute their game plan. He had his dad in his corner for his period of his boxing career, and I've been in Tank corner period of his boxing career. We're just waiting for us 2 to get together. We got his mind and my mind. We just put it in work. So I expect that out of Santa Cruz. You get what I'm saying? Because he's a true champion. He's a 4-time champion. You know, I expect for him to give Tank the run for his money. You get what I'm saying? But me knowing Youngin and where we come from, It's a different type of beast.
Now, I admire your training style because you don't necessarily get in their face. You just basically expect the very best out of them.
Yeah.
It's not even just with him, it's all your other fighters that you have.
all of
It's not like, hey, I'm in your face. It's you're going to do what you need to do that I expect from you already, and that seems to bring the best out of these
Well,
guys.
they understand that I have dreams and goals too. When it comes to training, this is my domain. When you come in here and you expect for me to train with you, just do what I ask. Tank's the best to do it. Sometimes he go beyond. You know, I tell him no. I tell him something to do something. He'll say no, but he'll go and do it. He'll push himself. I didn't ask for this life. We was just doing something to keep our life steady, but he took it and really ran. He seen the vision. He seen the vision and ran with it.
Now, what do you say to the cynics out there who say, hey, you know, the weight issue has been a problem. You guys got here and you put almost a full 12 and a half weeks in there. And again, I'm not bringing it up to be facetious, but you know, you're gonna have your Twitter guys that are out there that are going to make sure that no matter what happens, they're going to say, okay, we're not making weight. But you guys have been taking it real serious.
Well, if y'all been watching his social media, he already posted 35. Stay tuned. We're going to show you something else in a minute, you know. So, you know, we know what we have to do. Everybody always questioned the weight. Tank been like that since the amateurs. And it's not the fight that I worry about. It's always the weight. But if you make weight, fantastic fight.
Now, we've all been dealing with the pandemic over the year. It's kind of slowed the process down. Again, 3 fights in 2019, sold out, unbelievable experiences, Baltimore, Atlanta, LA. We're going to have fans in the Alamodome, not as much as we would if we were to go ahead and do it, 40,000 people there. But then again, we are going to have fans. How have you guys been having to deal and cope with this pandemic as far as the training, traveling? I mean, have you guys already become accustomed to it? Is it an everyday way of life for you guys, or is it still some learning?
It is different because, like I said, I came here when Floyd was training for his retirement. The media was here. It was lit. We don't have that right now. I had a chance to go into my first bubble with one of my other guys. Just the new norm. The thing is getting them to the finish line. I hope none of us get ill to anything from here going to San Antonio. It's different. It's different. I mean, I should be called a test tube baby now. How many times I've been tested? But I see it's very serious. We're trying to make sure everybody got their masks on. We're doing what we're supposed to do. So far, so good. Everybody been good. But we still have to get from here to there. This pandemic, man, it's changing. It's changing every sport.
Right.
You know how we do things. But health is very important because we're losing a lot of lives in this pandemic and whatnot. You know, the new nickname, they call it the Rona now, you know.
Yeah.
And it's scary because, you know, in this sport, for coaches, we have to be hands-on, a lot of stuff, you know, we have to be careful, making sure we cleaning stuff, sanitizing stuff. I mean, we really had to stay, so it's changing a lot of stuff. It's different. It's different.
It is, and I'm gonna even dive even deeper to your relationship with Gervonta because obviously it's not always perfect. Like a father-son relationship, there are some times where you guys do butt heads. What is the thing that you have worked on the most with him on the outside of the sport to guide him to where he's at? Because not only has he had you here, you know, Floyd has spent more time with him than he's ever spent more time with him, period, in a 12-week period. So even from just these 12 weeks, have you seen a difference?
Oh, I've been seeing a difference. Let me explain something to you. I was a young man just like Tank. I was worse than Tank. Tank, the way he is now, I'm happy. Reason why? Because coming up in these inner cities, there's a lot of controversy that a kid have to deal with. It's a lot of stuff that a person has to do. But again, he got a good support team. You know what I'm saying? We're going to make hiccups because that's where we come from, you know? So my job, or what I do with Tank is, I learn from his experience because that's what's going to mold him to be the best of what he's going to be. I sit back and say, go back, don't look at Floyd as Floyd now. Go back when Floyd was in your position. He had a lot of stuff to deal with. I said, that's the best person to talk to, especially on this type of level. I mean, you take a young man, put a lot of money on him, do a lot of things. He's talking to Mike Tyson. He talking to greatness that been through this stuff.
Correct.
So when I sit there and look at it, I said, man, you the next person to actually write that generation for the next kids that's coming up behind you. So the things that he go through in life, you get what I'm saying? They the things that build him, that actually make him understand. You know what I'm saying? And when he sit back at the end of the day, when we sit down and talk about it, I think he ain't listening, but he's listening. Right. You know, and I sit there and say, you're gonna be a fine young man, you know? It's coming together.
Well, I think so too. Now, for the fight, Santa Cruz likes to pressure. He likes to throw a lot of punches. Have you guys worked on that specifically? Not to get into your game plan, but have you worked on that to be able to say, okay, this guy's going to come for you. He's going to be throwing a lot of punches. What can we do?
Santa Cruz might change up what he's doing. You know, we working on a lot of stuff. Get what I'm saying? What I always tell Tank and what I have seen, because I have a lot of guys, the fight might not be the way you train. You know what I'm saying? We could do a lot of stuff in the gym, but some people might change some things up, you know? So I don't get into that. I just make sure that we be effective at what we're going to do. You know what I'm saying? Because I know he's been in that position. He's a 4-time champion, and he have the right to actually go out there and win too, because he's putting in work too. He's actually putting in work. I watch his media workout. I've been watching his interviews. He said he's going to give Gervonta his first loss. And I like that energy. I love that energy. You know what I'm saying? Because I know you're going to bring what I'm really looking for. Tank ain't at his best right now. I'm waiting for that fighter to bring the best up. So when he do what I need him to do, and he shut all them headsayers up, the ones that's calling him out and stuff, then it's answering, okay. And then he get his just props, because he ain't getting his just props right now.
Well, we look forward to it. Again, Halloween, it's going to be unbelievable action. The Alamodome, San Antonio, Texas. This man taking his fighter to war against Leo Santa Cruz. We look forward to it. Thank you, Coach.
Appreciate you.
Again, there is other reasons for joining us in the pay-per-view. 3 amazing fights. We have a title eliminator. And now at this time, we would like to bring up the 3-time 2-division champion, Gervonta "Tank" Davis. How you doing? Nice of you to join us. Okay, man, you, just like I was talking to your coach, you guys came out here, surprised everybody. You came out early to start the camp. How has it been for you being out here for such a long period of time? You guys did come out here once before, your coach did say, but I don't think it was for an extended period of time like this.
Just training out here, period, you know, I knew that, you know, I've been training out here before when I first signed to Floyd, so I knew what it brought to the table. You know, I know that I'm on fighting a great, you know, fighter like such as Leo Santa Cruz. I know that he a 4-time world champion. He's I want to say a future Hall of Famer. You know, so I know that I was in a tough fight. So I wanted to make that decision to come to Vegas and train for a long period of time.
Now, you've been around Floyd Mayweather quite a bit since you signed with Mayweather Promotions, but I don't think it's been on an everyday basis for 12 weeks straight. What have you learned from him being here, even when he is not training, because he did train with you side by side a couple of times, but what did you learn from him when you've been in here as far as preparation and getting yourself ready to be ready to fight at Halloween?
Just stay focused, be patient, and just be yourself. You know, just go out there and do what you do best. You know, and that's, you know, put on great performance. You know, work hard so you can be able to put on a great performance. And this is a new task for me, fighting on pay-per-view and fighting a tough opponent and things like that, and actually fight for 2 belts. You know, so I know it's very, very important that I go out there and do what I have to do, not just fight, but be able to put on that tremendous performance that I'm looking for.
Now, in the first episode of Showtime's All Access, which previews last Friday, you said something that really caught my attention. I've been around you since you actually were here in the promotion. You were the house that you're staying in right now. And one of the clips that showed you said this house is really big. I would like a house like this one day. Do you see yourself maturing now? You know, you're a father. You have a lot of things going on that were different from 2017 when you won your first title. Do you see yourself? I don't want to say growing up, because we all have the kid in us until we're going to be gone in the grave. But do you see yourself changing and finding other things that are more priority to you than being out or buying different things?
Of course, you know, even just not just this fight, but when all my fights, when I, you know, stay in houses and things like that, you know, I use that as one of my motivations, because, you know, it come with this, it come with, you know, the lifestyle we live and things like that. So it definitely maturity. I think I'm definitely getting mature as I keep going forward. You know, all I gotta do is just stay focused, stay humble, and the rest is history.
And again, I talked to your coach about the people on social media who already were mentioning the weight issue that they think you're going to have for this fight. Your coach already said you've already posted on social media 135, so you're doing really well. How's that working out for you, and do you feel any tiredness whatsoever as far as the training camp is concerned?
It's going very well. I can make weight tonight if I wanted to. it's great. You know, just overall, just me coming to Vegas to train and bringing my team, just making that decision. I feel like it was best for me. You know, I think I'll be training, you know, here for all my camps. I think I was thinking about buying, you know, property here so I could be having a place here to stay when I come here and things like that. So I'm definitely I'm just ready. My weight is on point. And we're just looking forward to October 31st.
We are looking forward to it as well. Go ahead and do your thing. We're going to check you out right now. Again, Gervonta Tank Davis getting ready to work out for us here. Halloween night, you cannot miss it, guys. 3 exciting fights, and then the main event, Gervonta Tank Davis taking on El Terremoto, Leo Santa Cruz. It's going to be a one that you cannot miss. Go ahead and do your thing, bro.
Yes, sir. Hey, should we put the music on?
Thank you, sir. Boy, I look forward to this, boy. I'm gonna look like this. Man, we KP at? We not fighting with that. Make sure we got some points out first. I'm gonna beat this big good great.
Again, guys, for those that are
Oh my God!
Feeling better? But you got down early? I think if you got down later, you'd feel you'd be weaker. I see. Oh, you know. What I gotta do? Okay. Nicole, we ready?
We're out.
Boy, son.
I don't want to change nothing, but I don't want to do too much. Yeah? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, y'all watch out the way. I'm about to jump over. He always want to be in the camera. That's for him.
Okay, guys, we're back. Before Tank gets started, we have a couple of special guests here with us right now. First, I want to bring up the CEO of Mayweather Promotions, Leonard Ellerby. Just want to ask you a couple of questions first, real quick. We'll go ahead and do that next. Joining us here, obviously, needs no introduction. the pay-per-view king, TBE Floyd Money Mayweather. Thank you for joining us, Floyd. We appreciate it. Good to see you again.
Hey, how y'all doing, everybody at home?
So
I don't matter how my hat look. They got to turn the music down a little bit. I know he's training.
All right, so we're live right now on Showtime, YouTube. People watching all over the world right now joining us. I just wanted to stop you real quick while you walk in and Tank is here working out. It's been 12 weeks.
Yes.
Since he's been here. You've been able to spend a lot of time with him. You've been able to basically be like a big brother to him. He's been with you more times this last
more like a father figure.
Absolutely. Okay.
Yes.
So
More
more family, correct. What do you think he's learned from you here? Because, you know, it's 2017 when he started, won his first championship. From these last 3 years that we've been dealing with, all the issues of people trying to play with belts and whatnot. We've had 3 years.
Bring it down a little bit more, please.
Of championships. Last year he sold out 3 dates.
Yes.
LA, Atlanta, Baltimore. And what has he been able to learn from you?
Hey, Tank. Tell him break it down. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. What has he been able to learn from you here in the last 12 weeks?
I got to do my interview for you. Okay, first I just want to say congratulations, you know, to all the young fighters, you know, that's making big moves in the sport of boxing. I must commend all the young fighters that's up and coming, take my hat off to them and say, you know, congratulations just on all your accomplishments, all the young fighters at lightweight. Not just at lightweight, just in boxing period. So I just want to say congratulations to all the fighters, not just the fighters at lightweight, but all the fighters. So as far as Tank, I'm just so happy with Tank. Right now, one of the biggest fighters in the sport of boxing. No matter where we go, he's, you know, I've laid the blueprint on what to do. And I played a major part, and I'm supposed to play a major part in helping him grow, as far as growth. But as far as in the ring, what we've been talking about these last 12 weeks, what's very important is basically making the weight. Your weight should be made a lot earlier. So he decided to come to Las Vegas, do a 12-week training camp, and so far, everything has went great. He's been able to focus, work extremely hard. He got different looks as far as sparring, boxing. He got different looks. And the main thing is, right now, he's under 134 pounds, which is great. So I think we have like a week and something to go. I don't know how many days exactly, but I'm proud of him. And I'm proud of Leo too, also, because you know a lot of people saying, oh, Leo's a small guy. Let me tell people about the sport of boxing. The sport of boxing is about testing yourself against the best. And if you beat the best at your weight class, you must move to another weight class. So Leo was the best at one weight class. He moved to another. He dominated. He moved to another. He dominated. And that's what this sport is about. Taking chances and taking a huge risk to be the best. I did the same thing. I was at 130. I beat the best at 130. I went to 35. I beat the best at 135. I went to 40. And at that time, the biggest name at 140 at that particular time was Arturo Gatti. Now, he probably wasn't the best fighter, but that was the biggest name. And the biggest fight to be made at 140 at that particular time was me and Arturo Gatti. Correct. So we made that fight happen. Then eventually, I couldn't get Constant Tszyu for that fight to happen. The Constant Tszyu fight wasn't able to happen. So you know what I did? I said, let me go to 147 and take a risk and roll the dice. I went to 47. I fought Zab, and then, you know, of course, Zab was, I think, if I'm not mistaken, he was the last undisputed champion at 147 pounds. And then eventually I moved to 154, fought Oscar at a weight that he wanted to fight at. And then when I take a chance or a risk and go up and fight a guy, they're gonna say, you know what, he's over the hill. You know, and with the sport of boxing, and I want to say this right now about the sport of boxing. I don't want everybody at home to hear me when I say this. A belt, I'm tired and I'm at home, and this goes for any company. I don't care if it's Top Rank, if it's Golden Boy, if it's Mayweather Promotions, if it's PBC. There's too many champions in the sport of boxing right now. Too many champions. It's not a such thing as a super champion, not at all. And I'm not taking nothing away from no fighter. It's too many belts. And the reason why is too. Let me tell people what's going on in the sport of boxing, why there are so many different titles and so many different belts. People don't know you have to pay, for every belt that you win, there's a sanctioning fee. So now if a fighter wins an interim belt, he has to pay a sanctioning fee. If a fighter has just the regular belt, he has to pay a sanctioning fee. Then if a fighter is a super champion, then he has to pay a sanctioning fee. This is not good for the sport of boxing. When the sport of now, when a fighter fights, every fighter is a champion. Now, after you see no belts is like a fighter winning an amateur trophy. Everybody is a champion. Everybody have a belt. Now we look at the lightweight division, okay? And I want to say the fight the other day was a hell of a fight. Congratulations to the winner. He done his job. He went out there and did what he had to do. But if Devin Haney is the WBC champion at lightweight, right? And Gervonta Davis is the WBA champion. Now, it's safe to say that Teofimo is the champion he's the champion, the IBF and the WBO champion. But I can't knock what he has done, because I have to take my hat off to him, for what he has done. And then we talk about different fighters proving themselves. There's no different from Marquez. They're going to say, oh, Mayweather was the bigger guy. Remember, at one particular time, in 1996, before I went to when I was in the Olympics, I fought at 125 and a half. It's 125 and a half because it's 57 kilograms. So in that same year, I turned professional at 130. So we can't keep talking about guys, this guy is a small guy. To be the best, you must take risks, you must take chances, and if it takes going up in weight or going down in weight, that's the sport of boxing. That's how boxing works. And we look at Manny Pacquiao. He done the same thing. He takes chances, but then when he loses to me, guess what they say? Mayweather was he was the bigger fighter. It's always a catch-22 when it comes to me. So once again, I don't want to knock no fighter, but I'm tired of seeing fighters after the fight. Everybody got a championship belt now. Now boxing, all these belts is like trophies. The WBC, the WBA, the IBF and the WBO. Y'all gotta clean this shit up. Y'all have to clean this up. This is bad for boxing. Ain't there such thing as no super champion. You guys are just taking extra money from all these fighters, getting extra money from sanctioning fees. And this goes to my company as well. We got to clean this sport of boxing up. This don't look good. When you look on TV now, everybody's a champion. You see all these fighters posing with a belt. And then we got another guy at lightweight, which is Ryan Garcia. And then I look at Ryan Garcia, and he's a pretty cool fighter, and I don't take a nothing away from him. He's with Golden Boy, and I wish him nothing but the best in his career. But before you can, and I seen Ryan, for an example, Ryan Garcia is one of the fighters that got in the ring holding the WBC belt and holding another belt. This is not cool for the sport. And do I think he can become world champion? Absolutely, he can become champion. Do I think he can beat Gervonta Davis? Right now, as of right now, absolutely not. Now, that would be a fight next, but Tank cannot overlook Leo Santa Cruz. Hell of a fighter, tough competitor, and like I said before, if he went to 4 weight classes, it's obvious he can fight his ass off. So any fighter that's no different from Canelo. Canelo was able to jump weight classes. You know why? You look, you say, well, Canelo, when he faced me, they said, well, you beat Canelo at a catch weight. Remember this, you go back and you read the articles. Before you can speak on anything, you must do your homework. Okay. Canelo was the one that said he wanted to fight me at a catch weight class. So me being a smart businessman, guess what? I'm gonna test you and see if you really want to do it. Now, is he one of the best fighters out there, pound for pound? Absolutely, he's one of the best out there. But we cannot overlook Gervonta Tank Davis. He's also one of the best out there, pound for pound. And you look at him, I believe it's like over a 90% knockout ratio.
95.
95% knockout ratio. So whoever you got to realize this. One thing we know about Gervonta Tank Davis, you know, he got an equalizer in any hand. So he can hit you with any hand, and it could be good night, Irene.
Now, Gervonta Davis inside the ring, we realize that. Now, Gervonta Davis, real quick, so we can go back to the workout. The maturation of Gervonta. Can you explain briefly for 30 seconds on what you have been able to do for him as far as the maturation is concerned?
Well, one thing I'm going to keep stressing to these fighters, just period. Everybody want to know, how am I able to still live the life, you know, that I live? We can't just think about, and Telefimo the other day after the fight, he was like, he said something real. What I didn't do was, when I made my money, I ain't just go buy a car or buy a chain. It took me a while to learn the game. I didn't have a Floyd Mayweather. I wish I had a Floyd Mayweather. And it's another, you know, if I'd had a Floyd Mayweather, I would probably be in a lot better position than I'm in now, because I would know how to move a lot better when I was younger and knew smarter things to do. But Al Heyman, a great businessman. Leonard Ellaby, I must take my hat off to him and the whole Mayweather promotion staff, because, you know, while I'm out traveling the world having fun, they take care of the company, and they're doing a great job doing that. So I must commend Mayweather Promotions for doing that. And one thing about us, what we do is we put fighters in a position to win titles, and we put fighters in position to make millions, you know. And when you look, even like our fighters that fight on PBC, if you look, when our fighters fight on PBC, we talk about the Nielsen ratings. When our guys fight on Fox, we don't go out there and talk about how many homes sometimes it's 4 million, sometimes it's 5 million. So we don't knock nobody for what they do. We just got to speak facts. And then there's another fighter out there that we don't talk about that deserves his just due. Andre Ward. We don't never talk about him, even though he retired undefeated. He beat a lot of good fighters, and we need to talk about him and give him his just due also. But the other night, when I seen that fight, just when I go back and look at that fight, I feel that it would have been a lot more exciting if Lomo got started earlier. But at the end of the day, my thing is this. I think he could have been worried about the power. Now, you can't be worried about what nobody say on the outside. You know, you got to train. That's why Tank, we got him in the gym right now. We got Tank in the gym right now. So he trained because he expected many different looks. So many different looks. You don't know what Leo you may get. You may get a Leo that's on his toes boxing.
Right.
So that's why Tank has so many different looks in his training camp. But I take my hat off to all these fighters, you know. I had my day in the sport, and even like a lot of times when they was talking about comparing Lomo to me, when you got I didn't have to have 500. I didn't have to have 500 amateur fights, and he done something that I wasn't able to do.
Right.
He was able to win 2 gold medals, which is a huge accomplishment.
Right.
Just to go to the Olympics is something huge in itself. And they said, well, guess what? He was the quickest to win a world title than any other fighter. Man, once you fight 300 amateur fights, you're a professional anyway. And you cannot compare a fighter like Lomo to me, or a fighter like Ali, or a fighter like Sugar Ray Leonard. You know the reason why? Because we won our first fight. We won our second fight. Right. We won our third fight. So I'm not going to take nothing from Telefimo for what he did the other day. But remember, this guy already had a loss to Salida, and Salida wasn't, quote unquote, the best guy in the world.
Correct.
He was solid, And he won a title before, but he wasn't the best guy in the world.
Well, we appreciate the insight, Floyd. Thank you for joining us again, Floyd Money Mayweather. We're gonna go ahead and get back to the workout. Gervonta is there. Again, Halloween night, you'll see this guy there. I'll be there too, and you better be too. Showtime pay-per-view.
Sometimes getting the heat, hey, sometimes getting the heat, move your head here. Work on moving your head stuff, right?
Yes, sir. These streets will lead her. Put your life in reverse. My dog going crazy, boy. Pop like 3 per day. Thought he want my baby, no, I had to leave her. My bitch say she faithful, don't really believe her. I don't need love, but I feel I need her. I don't need trust, but I still leave her. Put my thoughts in the verse, I can't talk to a person. Yeah, we from the dirty side. That's the worst thing. Nigga ain't no switching sides. That ain't working. I've been working. In my bag, no stuff, it might be a birthday. Nigga, quit the cat, don't eat the boss, and put that work in. I got niggas lurking. All you bitches don't know they wanna fuck the lies. You on my time. No, you can't, cause I'm busy flying. You can see the pain in his eye. My mistake, I made.
You surely know I don't get plenty fucks. She gon' let me drive her crazy in this belly truck. The way I sprinkle her, these niggas picking pennies up. Gun talk, send you straight to hell before you send me up. You gon' get killed trying to showcase your bravery. If my gun talk is gonna spawn on what you say to me. And I could give a fuck about your king. You still gotta get down on both of your knees when you pray to me. I know you praying on my downfall. Another reason why your knees be on the ground floor. And you was never posted in them trenches. You was lying when you mentioned what your life was on the line for.
These streets will lead her. Put your life in reverse. My dog going crazy, boy. They pop like 3 per day. Thought he want my baby, no, I had to leave her. My bitch say she faithful, don't really believe her. I don't need love, but I feel I need her. I don't need drugs, but I still leave her. Put my thoughts in the verse, I can't talk to a person. Yeah, we from the dirty side. That's the worst thing.
To keep it real with you, I've been through a lot. I think I spent 100 hours building niggas' blocks. I think I spent 100 bands trying to feed the block. Welcome to that mother lane that's fucking with me now. I'm a young OG. Niggas wanna see me lose, they don't even know. Got out of my
sexy faithful, don't really believe her. I don't need love, but I feel I need her. I don't need drugs, but I still leave her. Put my thoughts in the verse, I can't talk to a person. Yeah, we from the dirty side, that's the worst thing.
Them niggas came up on me. Should've never came up on me. I need a minute, homie. Every boy and everybody waited on me. I'm about to switch. Now I'm about to switch back. Like this bitch, yeah. I got this bitch, man. Look, give me a break, Kit Kat. She want me to hit that, but I'm focused on a big bag. I just fuck when I get back. I didn't bills. I lied on them. Every night I'm go home and I run. I remember I was down in the dumps. I was feeding niggas, giving them lunch. Niggas forget. But I remember. My bitch is pregnant, my mom's in the hospital, dying damn. It was early December. I'm losing my crib. My life in a blend. I really said what I did and I did what I said. I was never one of these pretenders. Some niggas gave up on me. They should've never gave up on me. I need a minute, homie. And rewarded everybody who waited on me. I'm about to switch off. And I'm about to switch back. Like this bitch, yeah. I get this bitch, man. Look, give me a break, Kit Kat. She want me to hit that, but I'm focused on a big bag. I just fuck when I get back. I gave them my life. I give them all me. I see you wrong, but how you gon' win against the winners? Boy, you playing the wrong team. Yeah. I let the doggies off the dog leash. Yeah. I let the doggies off the dog leash. Yeah. Now, let's go. Hey, we go 5. We go 5. Hey, now, hey, mother mama in the deli. Hey, hold on. Now, she was on ready. Hey, she like mine so sexy. Hey, hold on. Hey, I met a mama in the deli. Hey, she was a wedding. Hey, she was on ready. I was on it. Hey, said why you so sexy. Hey, fell in love when she met me. Come check the bullshit. Hey, met a mama in the deli. Hey, she was a wedding. She was on ready. I was on it. Hey, said why you so sexy. Hey, fell in love when she met me. Come check the bullshit. I felt like I had to. Think how you put your boys together so perfect, bitch. I'm playing Scrabble. I be just playing with them bitches. I live not dabble. They don't got beef with you, girl. Bitch, the reason is tag you. I'm from the bottom like rap beef, I don't battle. Fuck, it's natural. I ain't drip. I need a brand new bitch. E-Class. Jimmy got a brand new whip. I got the fashion on them, no big box, sending messages for him. When I step up on him, gotta shoot with me. He better do him like that. I put the box on him, really come fast. He better throw him like that. They'll never get away. They know I'm heavy on the straight. I'm probably moving with the trace. Getting through away. I put the shooters in your face. Hey, Fabi, I'm lace. I'm all over the place. Tito, car, speed, race. I met a mama in the deli. She was a wedding. She was on ready. I was heavy. Said why you so sexy. Fell in love when she met me. Tell you acting, come check me. All the shit get messy. I met a mama in the deli. She was a wedding. She was on ready. I was on heavy. Said why you so sexy. Fell in love when she come check me. Get messy. I on the low. Loving on my post. Say me and my catch well, cause I'm always on the flow. Standing there by blue heart. Yours with the lows. I like you the most. Hurry on the boat. Hold on, wait, don't stop. See the one so to the soul and pepper. Black and white doesn't go together. Me and dress, I ain't know the weather. I'm on rain with a Henny in my system. Don't make it go wherever. You know I'm better. With me, man. You love me to death. With the stats.
What round? I mean, what? Put that on. The minute. What's the minute?
30 seconds, 3 minutes. 30 seconds, 3 minutes. Cutting into it, y'all. Cutting into it, that hot butter. You got that hot knife, y'all. That's what's that. You got that hot knife. Cutting into it. That hot knife cutting into it. Got a surprise for the public.
If you plan on cooking, what the grease got to be?
Gotta be hot. The grease gotta be hot. The grease gotta be hot.
Let's go on over. Let's go ahead and let's have a couple of words with you here while we're waiting for Tank. Again, you know, he looks in phenomenal shape.
Yeah,
You guys did a lot of good work on him. I mean, anything that you think will be the equalizer in this fight for him?
Go ahead, Tank. Go straight to the back. You good? Go straight to the back. The equalizer in this fight for him is conditioning and patience. I can put it back up. Come follow me.
All right, we're going to follow him. Apparently, there's a picture on these heavy bags that Gervonta works out with, and we're going to follow and see what that is. And if you are just joining us, guys, make sure you are following Showtime Boxing YouTube and all its platforms. Make sure you're watching all act.
Yeah, don't touch that bed. Don't take that picture off. They took a picture off.
All right, guys,
He
so
got 3 posters he got to get rid of.
when the cameras come and swing around here on the heavy bag, you'll see the picture. And Coach, you said it's already been busted up a few times.
Yeah, I take it all up, bring them back to life, because Santa Cruz got to last through the whole camp. We got this our last week. I got 3 Santa Cruz, different looks. You know what I'm saying? So I believe he's going to try to bring me 3 different looks. Whenever you're ready, Tank.
Again, guys, we'd like to welcome you that are just joining us here. The virtual media workout for Gervonta Tank Davis as he prepares for a showdown. Halloween night versus El Terremoto, Leo Santa Cruz. From the Alamodome, San Antonio, Texas. Halloween night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Live on Showtime pay-per-view. Again, brought to you by Mayweather Promotions, TGB Promotions, GDT Promotions, Santa Cruz Boxing Club, and of course, Showtime. All right, guys, that's going to conclude the virtual media workout. Ramblin' Ralph, wish you a good night here in Las Vegas, Mayweather Boxing Club. Do not forget, October 31st, Showtime pay-per-view, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific time. This is a can't miss, guys. 3 other outstanding fights on the card, 4 total. Bang for your buck. You can't miss it. I'll be there. I hope you guys are too. And if you can't be there, make sure you're on Showtime pay-per-view. Good night.
TV taught me how to dream. It was a life jacket. I don't think you can be an artist and not touch people.